Hey, welcome, 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 welcome. We're blessed to be back on this Sunday. I'm in my car going out of town. And we're on step 7. Asking God to remove these shortcomings. And before we get to the topic, I want to thank the God of my understanding for allowing us to get another day clean. Thank all the facilitators who help in the group homes and the facilities, women's and men's, transforming their lives, getting themselves together, and allowing them to have an open mind to want to listen and change their lives. You know, most of all, I thank God for the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous program, because when we get to come in to the Narcotics Anonymous program, I know when I came in and you came in, we felt welcome, very welcome. We finally found where we don't have to struggle to fit in and be able to be free off of drugs, off of alcohol, off of pills, off of heroin, off of fentanyl, off of cough medicine. You know, our addiction strives us to don't want to live, don't want to do right, you know. And we as addicts, we know where we fit in at that time of being rock bottom. We understand what rock bottom meant for us at that time. You know, but asking God to humbly, you know, this step is about humiliation, humility, the things that we've done, our shortcomings that, you know, that we had used to take care of certain things and we stopped doing that. And when we get to a place to where we stop doing the things that was important to us, how we was living, how we was thinking, how we was, you know, striving to learn more and more about ourselves, we stopped. How we used to love our children, show it by expression, by love, by patience, showing our friends love and kindness, and being there for our kids and for our friends and for our families, my mother and father, you know. And we get to a place when we humbly, you know, that word humbly means we at the lowest part of our lives. We got to the lowest part of our lives. And when that humility set in, we had to reach out. We had to reach out to somebody that I know could help us. Somebody that we was longing for, but our shortcomings kept us from doing the things that we needed to do. Now I ask myself, when we look back over our lives, some of us, most of us, are so grateful to just be alive, to be free, to talk about our shortcomings. Shortcomings for me is the things that I didn't do, the things that I failed at, the things that I could have did better at, the things that I knew better I knew what I was doing, but didn't care. And when we get to that point that we don't care, then that becomes our shortcomings. Failure of our shortcomings can be very, very bad for us, you know. And when I think how when we get humble in our lives, that means something got our attention. You know, when we get humble to the point that we didn't even know how it feels to just be humble, and to ask the God of our understanding to come into our lives, you know, I always keep the families in prayer. The families that I see on Facebook, on TikTok, they lost their loved ones to drugs and alcohol and pills and overdoses. I feel for them because I've been there. You know, and the only way a person can feel is that you had to went through that. You know, recovery is a stretch that we probably didn't even think that we was gonna make it, because we always failed at something. We never started something and completed it. We always let other shortcomings come into our lives and detour us from getting the help or wanting the help or asking for the help. You know, and I had got to a point in my life that I was stuck. How many of you know that you can get stuck without even knowing you're stuck? I was stuck. Stuck where I couldn't communicate. Stuck where I didn't want to tell nobody what was going on. Stuck where I was confused. I was bobulated because I know what I was doing wasn't in my character, but the drugs didn't care and it didn't want me to care, and I felt into that shortcoming. And shortcomings is something that we strive to become, or we want it to be, and we didn't do it. You know, we didn't look at it for what it was then. But when I came into treatment, I was lost. What? I was lost. It'll come back on, I think. I was lost at that time. It'll come back on. At that time, I was so lost. If I shut off, it's because I'm out of town and it's in a bad connection. But you know, all my life, when I look back, when we take that journey to go back and realize where we was and where we at today, is a blessing and a gift. Because at first I thought it was a curse for me not to be able to finish things and deal with things that I started, and I was lost. And when I look back at my life today, how grateful I am to come into the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous. Hey Cindy, hey Deanna, come into the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous. Sometimes I break down, because the reason I said I love this step is because it made me look at not just one shortcoming, many multiple shortcomings that came into my life that stopped me from progressing into something better or great. But once I came into the Narcotics Anonymous program, And I met other genuine peoples that was like me, that had been broken, that had hit rock bottom, that know what it feels like to feel like you're alone, rejected, lost, all due to our addiction. And that addiction will cost you if you don't pay attention and humbly talk to the God of your understanding. I know who God is to me. I have no problem with that. I'm just so glad that I found him. I'm so glad that I realized that I had to humble myself and look at what I have become. Look at what we became. Look at how we was doing things. Look how we was messing up. Look, one mess up after another, one shortcoming after another, because of the addiction. Addiction is a killer. And I hate the disease of an addiction. Because when we get into the using, abusing, neglecting ourselves, even protecting ourselves, it's not good. It's not good. You know, I had got, some of us, we come to a point in our lives where we just wanted to give up. We didn't care no more. You know, we just didn't care no more. And I'm telling y'all today, I don't ever want to get to that point of not caring about me, my loved ones, my friends, my kids, my family. I don't want to ever go back to that. So when I humbly had to come to him, I humbly had to take off all the sheets that had me covered for a long, long time. Hear me now. All them layers of sheets that had cost me so much hurt, pain, grief. I had to take off the sheets and humbly ask God. Humbly. When I'm telling you humbly, I didn't come to him playing. I didn't come to him thinking that this was a joke. I knew my life depended on it. So I had to humbly ask him, come on, God, you know what my shortcomings are before I even made them. You know what the shortcomings is, what I'm dealing with in my life. You know, rejection, hurt, starting something and can't finish it, or having the thought to want to stop, but I couldn't. You know, I didn't have the ability to care about what I really wanted to do with my life, you know, until it got to the point where it was messed up. My life was messed up. And I knew that if I kept on playing with drugs and dope and alcohol, it was going to cost me. But I didn't know how much. Some of my best friends is gone from overdosing. Some young kids done overdosed. Mothers and fathers done overdosed. Uncles and aunties and cousins and nephews done left this world not reaching their purpose, not finding out who they were and where they going. If you don't know where you're going, then you can't remember where you've been. You just can't. You can't remember where you've been if you don't know where you're going. I thank God that I can wake up every day and humbly remember a lot of my shortcomings. And when I think about it, everything that I put my hands on, everything that I started to do good in, I start failing in. My shortcoming was coming one after another. I wanted to go to school after I got out of high school. I wanted to go to college. But when I got on them drugs, wasn't no college ready for me, and I wasn't ready for college. So I took it upon myself to just get high. Just drink. Drink every day, get high every day, you know, play with my life every day, take my life for granted, you know, not caring who I was, not loving on me, you know. But now I can love on somebody else. You know, I can love on somebody else. But when it came to me, I forgot about me. I forgot about I was important. You know, and that was a shortcoming for me too. It's a lot of different things when you're dealing with step 7. But you got to humbly come to a point in your life where you got to depend on somebody bigger, greater than you that can help restore all the shortcomings that you allowed to come into your life. I mean, it was a lot of them too. It was a lot of shortcomings, you know, because I messed up. Everything I touched seemed to crumble. Nothing went right. If you think you're going to do drugs and alcohol and play the games, you know, really, after you really look at it, all the games I thought we were, all the games we thought that we were playing on ourselves and on other people's was played on us. Man. See, you don't know what I'm talking about if you ain't humbly got to a point to where you had to just give up and humbly tell God, I can't do this. I'm tired. My soul is tired, the spiritual part. I have no spirituality no more. It's all gone. You know, where I used to love, you know, singing, love going to church, love doing the things that I normally would do. But the drugs and the alcohol, all the pain and all the hurt and all the circumstances that I didn't want to face became many, many shortcomings for me. And it did come, it had to come for you too, for you to come into the Narcotics Anonymous program. You know, so I get to a point, I get to a point in my life where now I stay humble. You know, humility will take you to a point in your life where it'll make you look at everything. When you get to that humility part, when you turning it over and asking God to come into your life, fix what you messed up, fix what was broken, you know, when you humbly come to God and ask Him, He will do it. Look at me. Look at you. Look. See, the greatest gift is acknowledging your shortcomings. What was your shortcoming? Well, I wanted to go to school and didn't finish. Well, I wanted to buy a house and I didn't. I wanted to be a better mother, not a perfect mother, because there's no perfect mothers. I wanted to be a better mother. I made some mistakes. A lot of us have. Even my parents and their parents made mistakes. Ain't nobody perfect. We just learn to get better. But when it got to the point that humbly asking God to remove all of these shortcomings, I had to look at what were my shortcomings. It was even the ability to want to get up out of the bed and wash my dishes, or clean up my butt, or take a trip, or take a cruise. It was so many shortcomings, but the one I struggled to really identify with was learning how to humbly ask God to teach me how to be in love with me. And stop letting all that anxiety, stop letting all that depression, start letting all that, am I keeping straight? Stop letting things happen to me, putting myself in certain situations, and some of them I thought I would never be able to get out. That addiction, man. I tell everybody all the time, 94. I tell everybody all the time. Cut it up. I tell everybody all the time that I didn't get clean to mess up. I didn't get clean. I didn't get clean to come into the program of Narcotics Anonymous and think I can run it and think that I didn't need it or play with it. No, I didn't do that one. I came in for keeps. I was tired of hurting myself. I was tired of not wanting to even wake up in the morning. That's a gift today.
In 6.5 miles, take exit 131 onto Highway 19 toward Waunakee.
I had to learn that I wanted something different and better. Humbly asking God to remove my shortcoming wasn't easy, because a lot of the shortcomings I really didn't want to face or look at. Some of it was very hurtful. Some of it was very painful, because I realized what I had done to help destroy my life. But I learned. I remember when I went into treatment, I remember when my counselors told me, don't get stuck on what you used to do and how you used to hurt. Get stuck on how to get better. And that's what I do. I'm gonna get better. Every time I turn around, I'm striving to get better. Because my life wasn't good. Anytime you wake up using and go to bed using, something is missing spiritually in your life. And it'll make you feel like, why am I here? Why am I just existing and not doing something with my life? Letting the drugs and the alcohol and depression and anxiety just take over? Oh no, I couldn't stay like that. I had to humbly, when I tell you humbly cry out. I don't know about you, but I'm telling you what worked for me. I had to humbly cry out to the God of my understanding and ask Him to help me discover first what most of my shortcomings were. And once I started dealing with my sponsor and she came into my life, still in my life, it's very good to get a sponsor. Sponsorship is very important. It's very important. And I was blessed to get a good sponsor. Still my sponsor. I was blessed to come in and do service work in the community. You know, I was blessed to help another individual when they were struggling or going through. See, but that's the gift of getting clean, to come into Narcotics Anonymous program and meet new peoples. And meet people just like me and you that have failed short. But now, man, the gift of life is everything. Humbly. I do that now, even being clean. Humbly, you know, asking him remove that personality that I used to have.
Exit 131 onto Highway 19 toward Waunakee.
And to help me understand that I am important. I didn't used to think I was important at all. But now I realize everything that I was missing out. I was missing out. I'm glad that I found me. It took me a long time. I struggled. I paced, I struggled, I failed. You know, I did pace and struggled and failed until I came to a point to humbly ask God when I got to that step 7. Humbly asking God when I came to that point in my life that I can't do it. I got to get my...
Right lane to take exit 131 onto Highway 19 toward Waunakee.
I got to get myself together. I got to stop doing the crazy things that I allowed to happen in my life, and a lot of it I caused.
Take the exit.
For
Then
not...
turn left onto Highway 19 west toward Waunakee.
For not believing in myself
At the
and
light, turn left onto Highway 19 west toward Waunakee.
and not wanting to do what I needed to do for me. But honey, the 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous program taught me a new way to live, a new way to think, a new way to look at things, a new way to take a position in my life of trying to have a little control that I had lost. And I didn't know when I came into recovery. I didn't know when I got into recovery. One day at a time, it was getting better. One day at a time, it gets better. 1 minute of the time, it gets better. You know, and I had to learn.
2 miles. At the roundabout, take the second exit.
I had to learn a lot about me. I had to learn about me. And some of the things that I learned about me, it wasn't good. Ain't no use of me lying. It wasn't good. But remember, I came into the program to get better. Come on, Carl. I came into the program only to get better. This car right here. You know, but once I found the 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous program, it was a gift for me. It really was. I met some beautiful people, some peoples that have been broken and hurt just like me, who have been denied of so many things in their life.
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
Right. And once I found out that God loves me no matter what I've done, was a opening for me. Which way? It was an opening for me. And I was so grateful
In
for
about
that.
2.5 miles, at the roundabout, take the second exit.
I was so grateful to come into a program that really made me search all the broken pieces about me that made me come to God and humbly ask Him for some help. Because I had messed up my life. Hey Lorraine, I had messed up my life. For real. And you know, I tell y'all all the time, don't nobody know your story but you, and only you can tell it at certain times of your life. You know, and one thing that I learned about this disease, it don't care. It don't care how you feeling, if you feeling good, if you feeling sad, if you feeling bad, it don't care. All it wants you to do is take a drink, pick back up, you know, get back into that same rut you've been in for years, you know, not caring, bad attitude, bad character, you know, impulsive thinking, you know, not wanting to do better, you know, sometimes when we come into recovery, I learned this when I came in.
In 1 mile, at the roundabout, take the second exit.
The humility set in too. When I came into treatment and went into treatment, boy, that humility, when I went into that hospital to get my life back together, that humility has set in to where I wanted to get up and walk out. I wanted to get up and walk out what was so hard for me to walk in. It was hard for me to walk into that hospital, turn myself up, humbly ask God, give me some more strength to walk into this place and tell these peoples that I am Renee and I am the one that needs some help. But it was the greatest gift I've ever gave myself. Greatest gift I ever gave myself was giving myself a chance to live. And every day, y'all,
2.5 miles, at the roundabout, take the second exit.
I am a person that look at everything different. Where I used to look at it negatively, where I used to hold on to it, that was a lot of my shortcomings. Holding on to resentments, not caring, you know, just keep on holding on to people that hurt me, keep on holding on that people, you know, didn't like me. But see, when you come into the Narcotics Anonymous room of recovery, it teaches you to nurture yourself. And that's why a lot of times when I spoke the other day, I spoke about, I believe on Friday, I spoke about double standards and the wreckage of your past can still come into the present. I found out once I got clean, a lot of garbage, a lot of things that I had did, thought I had forgotten. and don't think you getting away with nothing. Don't think you getting away with nothing. Because it will find you. It will catch up. Remember, we come in here to get better, not perfect. Just better. making better decisions, you know, start loving people for real, you know. Now I'll let go of a person in a minute. You know, that was a shortcoming for me, because I didn't want to let go of the people that was hurting me and causing me pain, and I kept that pain and that hurt around me, and I didn't want to let go of it. But when I came into Narcotics Anonymous program, they taught me how to search for wisdom, to search and see what it is that I can do to better me. So I had to go to my shortcomings. And one of my shortcomings was I always thought negativity. Negativity was one of my biggest shortcomings. I never hardly looked at the good. It was always negative. And that's why I'm so positive now. I turned that negativity around to positivity. And I'm going to keep it, because it works out better. It just works out better for me. I can't speak for everybody else, but being negative, don't nobody want to be, you know, unless you got them negative people.
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
Unless you got them negative people that around. Negative people love negative people. I found that out too. That was a shortcoming for me too. But once I came into recovery, and I realized that recovery is the best thing that ever God has did for me, other than give me life, was introduce me, help me to find the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous program. Because see, what I love about the Narcotics Anonymous program, that I can just take my time. I can read, you know, I can go to meetings, you know, I can do service work. I don't have a certain pace. I don't have a certain minute. I just take my time. And the more you take, the more you learn. I'm so glad God didn't count me out when other people's did.
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
I am so glad that He didn't listen to me. He didn't count me out when everybody else did. When everybody else counted me out.
In about 5 miles, turn right onto US 12 West.
He counted me in. And for that, I will forever, ever, ever be grateful. Everybody who counted me out. Thought I wasn't going to make it. Don't you know some of them people? Don't y'all know some of them people that thought y'all wasn't going to make it? You know, you was just a dope fiend, a crackhead. You were just out here begging and wanting and robbing and stealing and taking and lying and pretending and falsifying how you really feel. Man, when you come into recovery, you ain't got to falsify nothing. It is what it is. If I ain't having a good day, you'll see it. But you know, to be honest, one of my shortcomings was not letting people know how I truly feel. Pretending. That was a bad shortcoming, because that's what kept me making mistakes after mistakes after mistakes. Shortcomings of being honest with the person inside of me. Being honest with that I'm a jerk, that I'm a mess up. You know, I'm always caretaking for other people. I'm always, you know, nurturing. But you know, I'm going to tell you something. Whoever on this site, y'all better start nurturing yourselves. You better start looking at life with an open eye. And seeing how just the air smells good. When I was using, I didn't care if it rained, thunder, stank, how it smelled. But when you doing good and you come into recovery, you start caring about everything, everybody, every situation. They said it was a hope shot. Long as you keep that hope shot, you'll never fail. You know, people's come into the meetings, people's talk different, everybody do things different, but I love everybody that has something to say that can help me then or help me later. Ain't a perfect speaker. You speak from your heart, and what comes from the heart reaches the heart. You know, humbly, I had to give up trying to hold on to some things that I needed to let go. Humbly asking God to come into my life. Step 7, humbly. That means I'm to a point, I'm weak, I'm done. I can't do it. I'm struggling. I'm at bottom. Come on, God, help me. Come on, God, and help me. It's a come on. It's a connection. Help me, God. Come on. Come on, God. I'm humbly in this. I'm in this stage of my weakest need. My knees is weak. I'm humble. I can't. I'm still. I need you. Yeah, I needed God. And I'm going to tell y'all something. When you need a person so bad to where you can humbly bow down and be truthful with yourself and tell God, I'm tired. I'm tired of lying. I'm tired of cheating. I'm tired of feeling like I'm nobody. I'm tired of begging and making up lies to get the drug of choice. I'm tired of going to bed, then get up and don't want to get up, or get up just to get high. All them shortcomings that I created about me, the things that I started that I couldn't finish, that I couldn't finish. But you know, when I came into the program, y'all, the program showed me something different. You know what it showed me? It showed me that nobody is better than I. Nobody is better than I. We all. That's what I love about the unity and recovery. Everybody done been there, done that, did that. You know, hit bottom. Hit bottom. Know what it is to stay at the bottom, be at the bottom for a minute. You know, for a while. For me, it was a while. But I'm so glad that I found a new way to live. Humbly. I humbly right now go to God. And I always tell people that the bathroom is my prayer room. My bathroom.
Turn left onto Highway 19.
In my bathroom. Y'all might think that's crazy, but I'm telling you the truth. In my bathroom, I know how to open up and humbly go in that bathroom. Sometimes I be in my bedroom, go in my bathroom and sit down and have a conversation with God. The humble part of me. See, everybody that's human, you got a humble part in you. That's seeking, that's looking, that's hoping, that's needing a conversation. And I need them every day. Not just Wednesdays, not Friday, not like that. I need them every day. But God has truly, humbly asked myself. You know, I had to have a conversation one time with God, is to, you know, humbly forgive me. Please. You know, I wanted him to forgive me for all the shortcomings and the things that I didn't complete, the things that I messed up, the things that I didn't finish, you know. But I had to ask God.
Proceed to the route.
What? I humbly had to ask God to help me out. Help me out. That's what I had to do. But I made it. You made it. We made it. And I know that I have come a long ways, and I'm proud of me. I am very proud of me. I was supposed to turn. Very proud of me. But I'm to the point now where I want to continue to do better in all areas of my life. Was I supposed to turn?
No, you wasn't.
Yeah.
Starting route to WSPF.
You know, I'm so grateful for
3.5 miles. Turn left onto Highway KP.
having you as my listeners, having you to come up on this site, and having you that know me to be a blessing to me. Some of you all have played a big part in my process of the new beginnings in my life. And I'm grateful for that too. I don't take life not serious no more. Everything is serious for me. Everything is that I want to always be able to do better. Everything is that I always want to keep pushing myself. Pushing. Push me to the limit if you want to. This recovery can push me to the limit. Just push. You know, one thing about this recovery, it'll push you and make you want to do things you never ever used to think about doing. Or you thought about doing and never had the character to push yourself to do it. But this program will bring out the best in you. I mean it, y'all. Y'all don't know. Y'all just don't know. That's why I can't be still. I'm up and going. I don't wait for good things to come to me. Sometimes I make good things happen for me. I don't wait on nobody. I don't beg nobody. You know, all the begging I did back in my youth, and I promise I don't beg nobody for nothing. Because I begged too much when I was out there using. Everything came out my mouth. I was begging to get one more, begging to get some money, begging to sleep on your couch, begging you to like me, begging you to care for me, begging you for understanding, begging you forgiveness, begging you for taking me back.
Turn left onto Highway KP.
I ain't finna do that. No, I'm done. When I humbly asked God to come into my life and help me remove these shortcomings, I was done. And to show you I was done, I'm doing much better. I'm living better, doing better, thinking better. Needing to always know I have to do better. I know I have to do better. I can't slip and get comfortable and start isolating and not going to meetings and not talking to somebody. I can't do that. I can't do that. I cannot do that. No. I cannot do that. Can I go in there?
Turn left. Okay, go straight that way.
But I got to a point in my life. I want to do better.
Turn right onto Highway 19.
I got to a point in my life I want to do better. I must do better. I never want to go back to the chains that had a hold of me. And I felt like I couldn't get away. I feel like I was stuck. I don't ever want to feel that way. Don't y'all ever feel that way. You know, sometimes in life and all the stuff that's going on, that's why I don't watch TV. You know, I listen on my radio, or, you know, sometimes I got a TV that don't work. And I love that TV. You can't see no pictures, but it just tell you what's going on. And I look at that TV. I look at it because I see no pictures. But I hear all the meanness and the ugliness. And I see all the hatred, all the killing, all the misunderstanding, hurting people, on deliberate. You know, that's what I used to do. And that was a shortcoming for me. I used to hurt people because I could. I used to hurt people because it made me not look at me. So I'd rather hurt somebody else. And can't nobody tell me that when you come into the Narcotics Anonymous program that it won't change you. It changed everything about me. I mean, it changed everything about me. I don't let nothing get to me. The things that used to hurt me, I humbly ask God every day, Lord, help me with that situation. I'm clean now. I ain't struggling now.
At the next stop sign, turn right.
All the bad shortcomings that I had in my life, you helped me work on it. You helped me even fix the shortcomings that I failed at, and came back at it and regrouped
At the stop sign,
and
turn
did it
onto
right.
Highway 19.
And did it right. That's a blessing to be able to look at your failures and your shortcomings. It's a blessing to look at that and see that you can fix things now.
In about 5 miles, turn left onto Highway 78.
Instead of keep them messed up. Instead of just keep messing up over and over and over and over and over and over again. Man, it's a gift, man. I get excited. I mean, I haven't felt so good in all these years